Running commentary, album reviews. We are revisiting classic albums. We listen from start to finish. The Human League, Love and Dancing. Love and Dancing was recorded under the name of the League Unlimited Orchestra. That's important just to differentiate that this was essentially studio wizardry. Love and Dancing was a reworking of all of the songs that we've talked about. Hard Times is the exception. There is no Hard Times on Dare. That's a new track. It's just very instrumental. It works. It speaks to who they are. It fits in with the sound. Martin Rushent is really the catalyst here for the Human League's success. The Human League are one of these bands that just kind of got in their own way with the arguments and infighting. Martin Rushent, I believe, was trying to work on a second album with them. And they just could not agree. They just could not get the sounds. People were getting really frustrated with the long, drawn-out process of achieving these sounds. Love Action, I Believe in Love is reworked into this mangled, unbelievably brilliant dance track. I love Love Action to begin with. How could it possibly be better? I don't know, but this guy does it. He just takes a song and makes it even better. He did it with Don't You Want Me. He did it with Seconds. He did it with, Do or Die, Open Your Heart. They're all sped up. They've all got a driving dance beat. The group really didn't have anything to do with it other than that their work was being produced and changed. They were capitalizing on the success they were enjoying in the States. That was probably the number one reason for doing it, because Don't You Want Me was number one, so now suddenly there's all this interest. It's also very important to add here that Phil Oakey was interviewed, and he said that, just to give you some idea of what a rat race the music business was back in the 80s. He said that he had made, after everyone had been paid, everyone had been taken care of, he said he made about £50,000 from Don't You Want Me. Which, if you think about the scale of that hit, the impact of that hit, is a very small amount of money. I mean, none of us would be, upset about it. I mean, it's a little bit more in the 80s, but he said he was able to buy a house with the money from Don't You Want Me. A lot of their problems did stem with that initial debt, I think. They were always playing catch up with their finances. They did this monster hit with Dare and Don't You Want Me. But the problem is that second album should have come out at the end of 82, early 83. In order for them to have really become a mega group. And obviously it impacted their finances. They were working, but the work was sort of scattered. Think of Keep Feeling Fascination. You want to hear an album of that. We all still want to hear that album. We want to know what album that belonged to. And the fact that it didn't belong to an album, I think, was to their detriment. In order for them to be able to take the name from Martin Ware and Ian Craig Marsh, they had to agree to pay any debt that the Human League in that guise had incurred, which, if you bear in mind that Human League were not having hits, so they took that on to keep the name. They really believed in the name and the direction they were going in. Critics, on the other hand, were not a fan, calling Philip Oakey Phil and the Dancing Girls, which, if you bear in mind that having been a serious synth band, that was detrimental. That was not good. They were kind of alienating themselves from their core group to go in a more mainstream direction. Subscribe to the channel, recommend it to friends, post comments. Also, if you have an album that you'd like to hear reviewed, we welcome your requests.